Hello, everybody. About 10 days ago, I brought you a brand new position where I bought over $18,000 into this one stock. Since then, I increased my position by over 30%, increasing it by another $5,000. I am currently up over 10% on this play, and I have around $25,000 and change in this single stock. The stock is called TFC, and the company is called Truist Bank. Before I go any further, in this video, I am not a financial advisor. I am not qualified to give you financial advice, nor am I giving you financial advice, nor would I give you financial advice. I am literally just a guy on the internet sharing my own personal plays. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose, and I take credit for all of my wins and losses. I highly suggest that everybody does their own due diligence and do your own research. All investing is risky, so be very, very careful. With that said, I still am bullish on Truist Bank, and I will be adding to this position in the future. And at the end of this video, I will tell you at what price I am looking to get back in to Truist Bank. And no, I didn't sell any shares. I'm going to be keeping this for quite a long time, as long as everything I see from this bank is on the up and up. Truist Bank is considered a regional bank, but something called a super regional bank. By all metrics, depending on what you're looking at, it is either the 5th largest or the 13th largest bank in the entire United States. That is not a small feat. It is absolutely fucking massive. Truist Bank is trading at around just north of $30 a share, and it gives you a very lucrative dividend of around 6.8% right now. When I first started talking about this stock, it was giving around a 7.3, 7.4 dividend. Why? As the price of something goes up, the percentage of your dividend goes down. And as the price of your shares go down, the percentage of your dividend goes up. At the end of the day, it's all semantics. It doesn't really matter. You're getting a certain payout per every share or every earnings. So for every earnings per share, every single dollar, 45 cents gets paid out as a dividend payment. And that's how you end up getting the percentage or your dividend yield. The key to Truist Bank and the investment in Truist Bank is it or is it not going to go bankrupt? That is your thesis here, or at least that is my thesis. If Truist Bank goes bankrupt, it goes bankrupt. But if it does not go bankrupt, I don't actually care too much how it actually proceeds in the future. I don't care how successful it's going to be. I hope it's going to be uber successful, but at the end of the day, this is a bank. And the bank's performance is based pretty much on history of the performance. The bank pretty much performs the same way it does yesterday. It'll pretty much perform tomorrow, so on and so forth, unless something changes. In this case, we had several changes. We had number one, COVID, and more importantly, we had the collapse of SVB Bank. We had the collapse of First Republic Bank. We had the collapse of Signature Bank. And then we had a couple of other collapses and emergencies in the financial sector. One of the major emergencies is the Federal Reserve keeps raising interest rates. Throughout this all, regional banks took a massive hit, and Truist is no different. However, Truist Bank, in my personal opinion, is extremely healthy, and I'll explain to you why, and should not be categorized as these dangerous, super risky banks. Again, do your own research. I'm just giving you guys my own personal thesis. Throughout the last 5 years, if you check Truist Bank, it trades at a very tight range. The range of trading for Truist Bank is low $40 to low $60. On average, that comes out to just north of $50. And fair market value right now for Truist Bank from analysts, so on and so forth, actually there's a huge report that came out from Morningstar, is $53 a share. So my fair market value or fair market price per share is $53 plus or minus for Truist Bank. So I believe that even at $30 a share, there is a good 50% increase or return on your investment if you invest in Truist Bank. And when I say if you invest, I don't mean you should invest based on what I'm saying. I am saying that for me, there is a 50% upside for Truist Bank besides for that extremely lucrative dividend. For me, I'm investing in Truist Bank very simply. I don't think I'm going to be selling Truist Bank even when it hits $50 a share because I want the dividend, and this is going to be an extremely long-term play. Because of the price that I'm getting into Truist Bank, I believe that this dividend is going to be super juicy, and it's not going to be worth selling in the future. You see, the 52-week low of Truist Bank was at $25 a share. I started getting in at around $26, $27 a share, and I let it run up, and it is absolutely beautiful. I'm actually waiting for a pullback. Possibly this is going to happen in the next FOMC meeting or the next CPI or PPI data reading. Remember when I said, if they raise interest rates, this is bad for a bank. So if they continue to raise interest rates because inflation is not under control or not going down as much as possible, or if Jerome Powell just wants to fuck the economy a little bit more, probably banks are going to suffer, and Truist price is probably, but not certainly, going to go down. Now, let me get into the guts of why I really like Truist Bank and why I don't think it is going to go bankrupt. Remember, I'm not really going after the performance of Truist Bank. I just want to make sure the bank is not going to go under. And I believe this is the play for all banks right now. If you can get a bank that got absolutely shellacked from its normal trading range, and you can make sure that they're not going to go under, you don't really care about their performance of how much they're going to be growing or not, because even if they don't grow as much as they did before, they're pretty much steady. And since these banks are all trading at near 52-week lows, it doesn't really matter. Even if their revenues go down by 5% or 10%, they are still severely undervalued. You understand what I'm trying to say? So this is a revenue guide from Truist Bank. 28% of their revenue comes from retail and small business. 17% of their revenue comes from commercial business, and 12% comes from their insurance business. Truist is one of the largest insurers in the country. If I'm not mistaken, they're like number 7. So they bring in a lot of money from their insurance company. Retail and small business, that means retail is me, you, regular people, and very small businesses, and commercial are larger businesses. I like that most of the revenue for Truist is coming from retail, small business, and commercial business, not to mention their insurance. They are safe, in my personal opinion. Then you have commercial real estate, which is only 3%. Stanley Druckenmiller went on and he made his case for a recession. He says that a lot of banks have most of their money or a large amount of it in commercial real estate. Well, Truist only has 3% in commercial real estate, 4% in mortgages, and I'm even going to add wealth management. So wealth management is large clients that have a lot of money, basically the ones that are not FDIC insured, and that's only accounting for 10%. So 28% is going to be retail small business, 17% commercial business, and 12% for insurance. While commercial real estate, mortgages, and wealth clients is only 17%. Again, I just want to make sure that they're not going to go bankrupt. Of the retail and small businesses, this accounts for 55% of their deposits, while commercial business accounts for 29% of their deposits. So most of their deposits is coming from retail and small business, and then you can also add commercial. Why is this important? Of the deposits of the commercial, 17% of them are insured. So 29% of their total deposits, which account from commercial, are 17% insured. However, the 55% of their deposits are 86% insured. And what does that mean? That means probably, of course, nothing is certain in life, but probably there is not going to be a bank run on Truist Bank. And that's what you're looking for. That is the nuts here. This is like really what you're looking for. Don't go bankrupt, and then you're going to go back to recent trading range. And that trading range, again, is going to be somewhere between 50 to 100% increase from where we are right now. So even if they do really, really shitty and they don't perform good at all, there is still about a 50% run up from the price today, not to mention an extremely lucrative dividend play here. Loans. 50% of their loans are for commercial and industrial, and that is broken down into 20 different industries, and only 10% of their loans are for commercial real estate. Do you see where I'm going here? Do you see why I like this bank? Now you have something called average deposits. Over the last 5 quarters, if you average all of the deposits, we're talking about $416 billion. That's the last 5 quarters, including the last quarter, which covered the collapse of the last few banks. So you have an average of $416 billion. Last quarter, they brought in $408 billion. So that is a decrease of 1.9% on average over the last 5 quarters. However, the decrease is only 1.2% from the last quarter. So all 5 quarters, 1.9% down. Last quarter, 1.2% down. Now ask yourself, stupid amounts of collapses for banks, literally the second and third largest banks after the last collapse in 2008. Do you think it's okay that the bank's deposits went down around 1.2%? I think yes. Do you think that the bank's deposits going down under 2% in general over the last year and a half is reasonable with what happened in the economy, with inflation and everything? I also would say yes, people need money. They're not depositing as much money. Inflation is up. Again, I like these metrics. They're really good. However, deposits are broken down into interest payments and non-interest payments. The interest payment deposits are actually up 1.8%. So what's an interest payment deposit? For example, a savings account, which means people are investing their money in the bank, putting it away, and it's going to be there long term. What went down is 7% for non-interest bearing accounts. So you got to take everything, and analyze it pretty good. I think this is a solid bank. Again, I don't care about the performance. Shitty performance, the stock is going to go up 50%. Great performance, the stock is going to go up 100% in my opinion. Let's talk about the PE right now, right? This is the price per earning ratio, which means this is how much you're willing to pay, the multiple for the bank or for the stock. Truist PE is at 6.56, which is, I believe, the second lowest PE of the top banks. The average PE for the top 16 banks, including Truist, which is like 12 on this list, is 9.43. 9.43. So Truist PE has a 50% run-up from here just to catch up to the other banks, which means if Truist was trading at around $45, they would have around the same PE as every other bank. Again, which means Truist has the ability to run up and still be fairly valued against other banks. Again, I took 16 different banks. It's not just JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citibank. It's also the ones that are next in line. The dividend payment is 45 cents for every dollar, 45.1 if I'm not mistaken. A healthy dividend is considered 30 to 50%. So although it is on the higher side, it is still within a healthy range, and they still have around a 10% range to go. However, I don't think that their earnings per share is going to go down a lot lower, if any, from where it is right now. So that 10% margin for error, I think we have it, right? That room over here, we have it. Not to mention, it's not like you can't go above 50%, just a healthy, safe rate is 30 to 50%. Now that I gave you all of my information, my due diligence, and there's definitely a lot more, you guys can definitely do your own due diligence and do your own research. Don't listen to me. I'm not giving advice. Do your own research. For me, I already bought into this bank. I really want to buy more. I want this bank to be one of my main dividend plays. I will be selling some of my JEPI to get into Truist. And by some of it, I think I'm going to sell all of my JEPI. And I think I got like $20,000 in JEPI. JEPI is the high interest ETF for JP Morgan, paying around 11.5%. However, Truist Bank actually moves up in price while JEPI stays still. I'm waiting for a pullback. If it happens, I don't know. But I am waiting for one, possibly when the Federal Reserve is going to raise the interest rates. I believe that Truist and other banks' price is going to go down because higher interest rates is bad for banks. I also think this is going to be the last if they even raise the interest rates in the next Federal Open Market Committee meeting, which is coming up in 2 weeks from now, if I'm not mistaken. I am waiting for a pullback of $27.50. I'm not going to get greedy. I'm not waiting until $25. If I can get to $27.50, and right now it's trading at like $30.40, I will be buying more Truist. I'm not betting against myself. I'm not praying the price goes down low, but if it does, I will be buying. If the price of Truist goes to $25 a share or hits 52-week low, which is like $25 a share, I will probably be buying leap call options for 2025. Again, I want to keep Truist for a very long time because I want it as my dividend play. And as time goes on, then we could evaluate how Truist is doing in the long run. If it hits $60 a share in the future and they're doing really, really good, maybe that is the time that I will be selling my shares of Truist. But if Truist is going to be trading at a range of around $45 or $50, they definitely have more room to grow in the future, and I will not be selling my shares of Truist. Guys, I really enjoy making videos on Palantir, but I really enjoy making videos on things that are not Palantir. I don't really get too many eyeballs on these type of videos, but the last video I made on Truist, I got 11 new subscribers. So if you're feeling this type of content and you would like for me to continue to give you other plays besides for just Palantir, which I love Palantir, but I do like to talk about other stuff, please let me know in the comments down below. I have a Twitter. It's going to be linked down below in the comments. And if you guys want to support this channel and you want to buy me a coffee in the future, I have channel memberships down below. It's $3 a month. And YouTube takes $1, so I'm going to be making $2 a month from you. Thank you so much for your support, and have a great weekend.